Guys, where were you when Tiger came back? What a moment. What an event. What a story. I mean, honestly, like, pinch me, am I dreaming? I've never had that moment before where I honestly felt like I was watching something that was just so surreal in regards to just sports. I mean, it had to be the Masters when Tiger finally won his 15th major. What a moment. And I have to say this. I will admit, it was an amazing moment, but right when it happened, and as soon as he went and hugged his son, Charlie, I immediately thought of you two guys.
Yeah.
It's got to be a pain not to be able to have a son, you know, that you could have such a warm embrace. I mean, that moment made me melt. Him and his son, everything Tiger's been through. I mean, who the hell am I? If Tiger can come back from the DUI, all the surgeries, then I think I can go to my 8 a.m. class, you know, after a night of drinking. He has inspired me. I think this is the happiest I've been. This is the happiest I've been in a really long time, guys.
Yeah,
I love it.
It was quite an event. I wish I could have watched all of it today. I had a few family responsibilities I had to take care of, but I did get home in time to watch the last 3 holes. I listened to a couple on radio heading home. You know, it is just fantastic, obviously, for the sports world in general. Just amazing. You know, his first major since when? 2008? Incredible.
Yeah, first major since '08, his first Masters since 2005. And it's crazy. We tweeted it out from our 3-Point Pod, at 3-Point Pod on Twitter. That first Masters for him was in 1997.
Wow.
Ted, you were in the prime of your life as a sports guy. I was only this 12-year-old kid. Tiger Woods was the reason that I got into golf. I mean, I remember watching golf a little bit. Like, my dad would turn it on sometimes on Sunday. You know, I remember watching a little bit. And I remember going maybe a couple times with my dad and my brother. But it wasn't really like a huge deal, you know. But as a 12-year-old, when Tiger Woods started winning, you know, I don't know, revitalizing golf, I guess, or bringing a whole different feel to the golf world. I mean, as a 12-year-old kid, I was in. I went and joined a league at Corona Hills that summer. I mean, it was awesome. And in '97, Jared, you weren't even born. So, like, it's just crazy to think that, like, how many, like, generations, I guess, that have gone through. And then to hear, like, Jared, that reaction you just had at how awesome it was for you to see that. I mean, you were like a young kid growing up when Tiger was in his prime and he was just dominating. So, you know, it's really cool. And, you know, everyone has their different feelings on, you know, or opinions on Tiger Woods. But as just a strictly sports moment, I mean, that's got to be up there with one of the best sports moments of all time. Maybe like the Miracle on Ice, you know?
Matt, we don't have to get into the off-the-course stuff. And I'll even say this. I'm fine with the off-the-course stuff. He's paid his penance. You saw the moment he had with his kids. It seems like he's, you know, kind of just completely changed as a person. You hear it from all the time, people who are on the PGA Tour with him, that he's completely different than he was before everything kind of fell apart.
I don't want to get off on a tangent, but you've kind of turned full circle because there are certain athletes that you do hold that stuff against them, Jared, isn't there?
Who are you referencing? I feel like you're setting me up for a punchline here. Who are you referencing?
One of Matt's favorites, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, you know, I am going to hold it against Kobe Bryant. It's different. Kobe Bryant's not Tiger. I don't like
okay.
the
Fair
big
enough.
difference here, Ted, the big difference here, do I like Kobe Bryant? No. Do I like Tiger? Yes, he's one of my favorite athletes. So I'm willing to push that under the rug. And maybe that's not fair, maybe that's biased, but here it is. That's my thought process. I don't like Kobe. That's why. Man, how about you just in Tiger fans and just one of the happiest moments of life, you're coming at me trying to say, you know what, I will remember this when we get to Tedtertainment tonight.
Well, but you just got to remember, I have to kind of keep a even keel here on facts that are facts. You know, you said you're okay just throwing stuff under the rug. You don't care about Tiger's past dealings. I don't want to rain on that parade, but I also want you to realize you're picking and choosing, which is fine. That's your right.
Yeah, I think there is a side, like, if you're just, like, a fan, because I have talked to some people about that, and there's obviously a lot on Twitter right now, or, you know, Facebook, whatever, people talking about how can you cheer for Tiger Woods, or, you know, it's crazy to see everyone, like, glorifying this guy when 8, 7 years ago, you know, there was a completely different opinion, I guess, of Tiger Woods. And, you know, my thing is, like, to that point, what you guys are talking about, the thing that I think about with Tiger Woods is he basically was just a bad husband. You know, like, we don't know everything that went on, obviously, but he wasn't, you know, when you talk about Kobe and what he was charged with that was dropped.
Two different things, for sure.
Right, two different things. I mean, you know, the people there's domestic violence or sexual assault or, you know, like, you know, their robbery or even, like, worse stuff than that, like criminal stuff where they could actually go to jail. You know, that's not necessarily what Tiger was doing. He just got a little out of control with the ladies, and he was pretty terrible husband. So like to hear people say like, I can't root for Tiger Woods. Sometimes I'm like, well, who do you root for in sports, or who do you root for in, who are you a fan of in movies, TV shows, or politicians, or whatever? Because I'm sure all those people probably don't have a clean slate either.
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
if you want to say, you're not a fan of Tiger, you can't support him, that's fine. It's perfectly fine. But Tiger Woods, the golfer, I mean, it takes me back to as a kid watching golf when he grew, when I was growing up watching him play, and he changed the sport. So Tiger Woods, the golfer, I mean, he's the best of all time.
Without a doubt. And I think the majority of people agree.
Yeah, Ted, how dare you? So he has an addiction that he battles with every day that he has to live with. All right? This is to compare that to the situation that Kobe Bryant did allegedly. That's just not even fair of you. It's like your old timey thoughts, Sexual addiction, it's come out, it's a thing. People go to therapy for it.
Oh, that's a joke, Jared. Come on. Every male has that addiction. Are you kidding me?
Let me ask you this.
Some can control it, though.
You want to sit here and hate on Tiger Woods?
I didn't say that. Jared, hold on a second. I wasn't hating on Tiger Woods. I was pointing out a little hypocrisy coming from you. Two different things. First of all, I'm as happy as anybody Tiger Woods won. On top of that, I'm all about redemption. I'm okay. I forgive the guy. If his family forgives him and now he's at the top of the mountain, great. I'm a Tiger Woods fan. I just wanted to point out that you were saying it didn't matter about any of his past when you have had a problem with that with other people, and I understand also two different scenarios. I think this might be a more of a good comparison to Tiger, and that's Magic Johnson and his behavior that cost him his career, his reputation for a long time, and contracted HIV for the same sort of behavior that Tiger had.
I guess the thing that just bothers me about people who mock that is you can't put yourself in his shoes. I mean, imagine being Tiger Woods, where everyone is throwing themselves at you. And I know that we all like to say, I wouldn't do that, but I don't know what I would do if I was in his shoes.
Oh, that's a tremendous.
It'd be extremely tempting.
That's a tremendous topic to discuss because what's funny? We had that discussion years and years ago, my wife and I and other men and women, and we all were pretty much in agreement. Boy, that's a tough one with the way that, they're in that scenario and hottest chicks in the world are throwing themselves at them. I mean, yeah, you're right. You don't know what you're going to do and you're in those shoes.
What was this event that was this like a swingers party or something? What was this event where that was the topic of conversation?
No, not a swingers party, just probably a dinner with friends. When the Magic Johnson thing came on, that obviously was before your time. That was as huge as it gets as far as a news story. That wasn't an overnight news cycle. That was a couple of years news cycle.
Yeah, especially, I mean, with as big of a figure, I guess, as Magic Johnson is, and in Michigan, having gone to Michigan State and everything, I can only imagine. I was really young when that happened, so I don't really remember that. But that's why, we always talk about some friends and we always talk about Derek Jeter,
right?
The perfect example of I feel like he did it right. He was the captain. He was the captain of the New York Yankees. I mean, if there's anything, I mean, that's the level of what Tiger Woods was really, and he waited until after his career was done to settle down and get married, because I don't know if he saw it that way, that man, I better not get married because it's going to be really hard to stay faithful and everything. But right, it would be hard, and it's easy, to sit back and judge these guys and call them terrible husbands or whatever you want to do. But it would be tough, to be in their situation and not slip up once or twice, I guess.
We're down a rabbit hole here.
Yeah, I didn't mean to send you down on that with what happened with Tiger. Let's make it more positive, and it was just an incredible story for sure.
The thing, too, is what Jared said about him, walking right over and hugging his kids, and, then obviously CBS starts cutting in with, his first major, his dad was there, and he hugged his dad. So he goes from,
right,
hugging his dad after his first Masters to now hugging his kids after this one.
His mother was at both.
Yeah, his mom was there, some friends and other stuff, and, a bunch of players were sitting there waiting for him to give him, congrats and everything. And you could almost tell. I was wondering. I started thinking, the 17th, 18th hole, I was like, man, what's he going to do when he knocks that putt in to win? Are we going to get the classic Tiger fist pump? Is he just going to, he's a little older now, so is he just going to, like, tip his cap? And you could, like, that reaction, man, I can't even imagine what, like, weight off his shoulders, monkey off his back, whatever you want to say. When he just went nuts like that, I can't imagine. Like, when he almost sunk that birdie putt to win, his heart must have been, like, just going crazy when he almost sunk that putt.
Oh, pressure.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. He is the king of celebrating, Matt. I mean, he is just the king. I mean, all over Twitter you see the photo of him screaming with his arms up. It's just incredible. But you guys never did answer my original question that I opened up with this. And I don't want. And I'm just kind of being honest. I guess this is probably more pointed to you, Ted, because Matt's got a little bit more like blood in his loins. Where I guess if he wanted a son, he still could. But like, does that ever? How often do you think about that?
No.
Like when you see a moment like that,
a child's a child. I mean,
you know. Daughters, but...
Nah. I'm fine with it. I've got great nephews. Two out of the three from your dad's family.
I know what you're saying, Jared. I mean, I think every guy maybe at least has that thought. But right, to Ted's point, I mean, you're happy with whatever kid that you have. And say I've got a bunch of nephews too that if I ever want to coach them up or try and pass anything down, I can do that. But I know what you mean. I mean that every dad, I think, especially if you play sports, you picture being like a t-ball coach, throwing passes out in the yard or whatever. But you can do all that stuff with your daughter too. So
that's right.
Rivals Tap House and Grill is the area's go-to spot for the best in food and drink. Meet up with your friends and catch your favorite sporting events on over 20 high-def flat-screen TVs.
And our 120-inch projection screen.
Rivals can handle your large or small parties and is an awesome spot to put on your fundraising events. Weekly food and drink specials including gourmet burgers, wings, pizza, homemade soup, and salads. Rivals also stocks a large selection of craft and domestic brews. Rivals Tap House and Grill, the official gathering spot of 3 Point Podcast, located on the corner of Shiawassee and M21 in Corona.
8590, 9500. Looking for items to buy or sell? Look no further than SheridanAuctionService.com. We will solve your problem. Bring Sheridan Realty and auction your items and we will market them all over the country and get them sold. If you are looking to buy items, we can help with that too. Call today, 989-720-SELL. It's fast, easy, and we get results. SheridanAuctionService.com. Buy or sell, we'll get it done for you. Call 989-720-SELL. You'll do better with Sheridan.
So it's like, I don't know about you guys, but this moment, it's like, this was like the peak of the mountain in sports moments. I don't know, I'm kind of like narcissist in the fact, like, as soon as it happened, I was like, I kind of like the, like, chase more than it actually, like, happening. I don't know if anything, I had goosebumps the whole all Sunday. And I just had, like, butterflies in my stomach. I haven't had that feeling since, like, LeBron in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals. And it's just, I guess what is sad about it is I don't know, will anything ever give me that rush again when I'm watching sports? Maybe like a Lions Super Bowl? I don't know. Is that something that you guys have ever thought about?
That's a good question, and you're a good analogy, too. I mean, I would be that same way if the Lions in my lifetime ever did win a Super Bowl. That'd be a good comparison. And you're right. The chase for him to win a Masters again, win a major again, now what do you look forward to in golf, right?
Yeah, I guess the next majors, you want to see what he can do now.
Now, can he do the true Grand Slam?
The health, his back and everything holds up. But, is he going to win some more majors now? I mean, he's got this, like we just said, he got this monkey off his back. So what's he going to do now? But, yeah, I think if the Lions were in the Super Bowl, I don't know, that whole day building up to the Super Bowl would be tough. Tough, like, in a good way. I mean, it'd be like excitement and goosebumps, like you said, but... Man, I was watching it the same way, Jared. I was watching it and I was locked in and excited, and I was honestly like through up until 12 where everything kind of changed and there were a bunch of bogeys and a bunch of movement around the 12th hole. I honestly didn't think it was going to happen because he wasn't like gaining ground, and Molinari, he was just like steady Eddie type of guy, just like keeping the lead. But then when like all that stuff happened at 12 and he tied it up and everything, I was like, man, is this really going to happen?
Tiger, he never blinked, Matt. That was what was so. That's just what makes Tiger. He never, until the very end, he never really showed any emotion whatsoever. And it was like, I had to pee, like you said, you were kind of glued to the TV. I had to pee for like an hour, but I just couldn't move. And then when the Masters was over and they just played like a replay of the match, like, when sometimes you're just like so shocked you just like kind of forget to change the channel? I was literally watching that replay for about an hour until I realized like I didn't change the channel. And it's just, the Masters never disappoints. It never, ever disappoints.
It's the best. There's, without a doubt, it is the best. And, Matt, you brought it up in your Twitter post, and it brings up a really good topic for our three generations look at Tiger and the world of golf in general. When I was young, guys, this is so lame. When I was young, golf was on every weekend, but it was, it was presented by Shell Oil, and you had Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus were really the studs in those days, and then you got a little excitement with Lee Trevino came into the fold and played very well, and some of the other stars of that generation. But then when Tiger came on the scene and won that '97 Masters, and he went on that roll of majors, that's the greatest, I think, what was it, I don't know, 6-7 years that golf has ever seen, I think. Tiger Mania.
I mean, if you just talk about individual dominance, because, I mean, there were other guys in there, too, like Vijay Singh, Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
David Duval had a few years there, too. But, it was just straight-up dominance by Tiger Woods, and it was a whole... I mean, if they got you back into golf a little more, got my generation, young kids going out to the golf course, because, I mean, like I said, I was casually watching, when my dad would type of thing, but it wasn't, golf wasn't very big in school. Our the golf program wasn't a big deal. It was, mostly about football in Corona. Even around the area, it didn't seem like golf programs were that big of a deal. Next thing you know, I mean, I know all my friends were joining golf leagues in the summer, or at least getting golf lessons or really getting into golf. So it really changed things. And then, Jared's generation, I mean, when you got old enough to watch golf, that was when Tiger was dominating. So that's what it was. So it is crazy to think about it in that way.
Yeah, what's your earliest memories, Jared, of Tiger? Did you see much of his success before he had his short downfall there?
No, that's what I mean. I would have been 10 years old when the car crashed.
That's what I thought.
Back when I was 6, 7, 8, I watched a lot of cartoons. I wasn't a huge sports fan, but I just remember. And for those who don't, I grew up right across the street from the Corona Hills Golf Course, and that was pretty much where me and my friends and my brothers spent our summers. My parents would get a family membership, and we would basically golf every single day. And I remember just the how big Tiger was even to me when he wasn't necessarily winning as much as he was maybe when Matt was a kid. Is this kid that we used to play with in the Corona Golf League, similar to the one Matt probably played in? He had a Nike Sasquatch driver, and it was the coolest thing in the world. We just would touch it. We'd ask if we could take one swing with it because it was the same exact driver that Tiger Woods used. And that's just how much he just kind of. That was another big takeaway I had from today. Twitter. I've never seen Twitter more all rowing in the same direction, all positive. Everything was about Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Matt, you mentioned earlier, maybe Facebook was a bit more negative, but I've never seen Twitter that way. So just remember how it is right now because it'll never be this good again. Never.
It did seem like it was mostly on the positive side for Tiger. I mean, I did see a few people saying the whole, like I said earlier, how can you root for this guy? But right, for the most part, it was talking about the moment for golf, for Tiger, the comeback, and everything like that. It is crazy to see Twitter, the majority agreeing on a topic. Usually it's not that way. But yeah, I mean, that's what, when I got into golf, it was all about, what you said, you wanted Nike stuff because that's what Tiger used. You wanted to wear a red shirt because that's what Tiger wore on Sundays. And you wanted to, you just wanted to play like him. You wanted to be pumped up. You wanted to do the fist pump. You wanted to show emotion. You wanted to, do all that stuff that Tiger was doing when, when you're a kid and you try and impersonate whatever athlete you're looking up to. I mean, it was all about Tiger Woods. So, I saw people talking about, asking, why is this such a big moment for so many people? And, I mean, for my generation, I think that's what it is because as kids, that's what we loved. I mean, if you talk about golf, it was Tiger Woods. I mean, maybe for, Ted's generation, with, basketball, it'd be, Magic and Larry Bird.
Right.
Something like that. Maybe that's why some people are so connected with Michael Jordan. And so personally, I mean, that's why it was for me. And, I was always rooting for a comeback. I was always wanting to see him. He owned up to his mistakes. He admitted to it. He did what he had to do to make amends. And, his health just kind of fell apart. So it's cool to see him work back and get this win.
Did you guys see what else is awesome? Vegas is getting absolutely killed right now, and I love it. Like 3 different casinos. Darren Ravel tweeted like 3 different casinos have lost like over $1 million.
Wow.
Here's a quote from Darren Ravel's Twitter about the guy's name is Nick Bogdanovich, William Hill, U.S. Director of Trading. He said it's great to see Tiger back, but it's a painful day for William Hill. Our biggest golf loss ever, but it was a great day for golf. Very rarely does Vegas go down, and Tiger Woods, he delivered it to the people. He brought them down.
Yeah. I know you dabble in the gambling world there. Did you happen to put any money down on Tiger? Because I know there was talk about that. And I think a lot of people thought this was going to be the coming out party for Tiger too, and that's why Vegas took such a beating.
It did kind of pay me. I was thinking about that. It's like Tony Soprano in The Sopranos. He bets, instead of betting like his whole house on the Jets to win, he only bets like $10,000, and the Jets end up winning, and he's pissed because he like lost.
Right.
That's like all last year. I bet on Tiger every single major just because like if he wins, I want to be a part of that. If he wins, I want to be a part of that. And just for some reason, I just didn't get around to it this year with all like the my bookie, like Dave Portnoy, Barstool saying it's a scam and everything. I was like, I don't know if I trust these offshore accounts anymore. So it's like I decided to hold back, and I don't know if I ever got my payout, but of course the one time I don't bet, maybe, you know what? Maybe it's because of me. That's why Tiger won. Because I didn't bet. I'm very bad at it. Maybe that's why Tiger finally pulled through.
You didn't jinx him. Yeah, Jared, you brought up earlier about like Tiger not flinching all day. It brought back memories, too, of like the Tiger effect. Like there was that stretch there for whatever, like you said, Ted, 6-7 years where it just, I have to think that most golfers during that stretch from like 97 to 2006 or whatever, like they just, if Tiger was playing, they almost just knew they didn't have a shot. And it almost seems like that Tiger effect kind of came back a little bit today because, like I said, like Molinari was leading the whole day. Then all of a sudden, he just like fell apart. He's hitting balls in the water, and he's missing putts, and he ends up losing by a couple strokes. And even, I don't know if you guys thought the same thing, but on 18, right before Tiger got up to the green, Brooks Koepka was about to hit a putt. If he would have made a birdie putt, he would have came within 1 of Tiger and put a tad bit more pressure on Tiger, to where like you can't bogey it because then you're going to go to a playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And he missed a putt that he's been making like the last 2 years or whatever. And you have to think that Koepka was thinking that. Make this birdie putt, get within 1 of Tiger, put a little pressure on. And, I mean, he missed it. And, I was just thinking, like, I saw some people tweet about it, too, that, like, you have to wonder about this stuff, like this Tiger effect. Even Tony Finau, he kind of, like, collapsed a little bit, too. I mean, he didn't, like, collapse, but, he started bogeying holes, too. So you have to wonder if that Tiger effect was kind of coming back a little bit.
I mean, I just wonder, do you think they know that literally everyone in the world is rooting against you right now? Because I feel like if they did know that, like, how does that not weigh on you? How does that not, like, take you down?
It's got to be in their mind. I mean, they hear the roars, they know what Tiger's doing, and they know where the crowd's affections are for sure. Yeah,
well, they showed that video. I think it was the hole that Tiger almost knocked in a hole-in-one, like 16, I think, and, like, that crowd went absolutely berserk.
Right.
And they cut back and showed the video. Brooks Koepka was about to tee off, and he like was about to approach his ball, and like the gallery went crazy, so he had to like back off. So yeah, that's coming, and I mean, but like you hear the guys after, like when they interview the reporters, when they interview the players, and they ask them about that, Dustin Johnson and whoever else. I mean, they love it. They all grew up just like us watching Tiger, so like they get it and they love it, and you know what it does? I mean, there's a lot more people there. I mean, the Masters is always going to have a huge crowd no matter what. But, like, a lot more people watching on TV and a lot more people at, like, the other tournaments watching because Tiger is good. So it's only good for them, too.
Well, you said the Tiger effect, and, it's going to go the rest of this season for sure. Whatever tournaments he plays in, that television network's going to get huge ratings. And the weeks he takes off, the ratings are going way down. Agreed with that?
Oh, yeah.
8590, 9500. Looking for items to buy or sell? Look no further than SheridanAuctionService.com. We will solve your problem. Bring Sheridan Realty and auction your items, and we will market them all over the country and get them sold. If you are looking to buy items, we can help with that too. Call today, 989-720-SELL. It's fast, easy, and we get results. SheridanAuctionService.com. Buy or sell, we'll get it done for you. Call 989-720-SELL. You'll do better with Sheridan.